Here's what the PGA Tour doesn't want you to know about this year's British Open. The biggest names in golf aren't playing, and the reasons why hide a much darker reality for the sport. Looking at the final major championship of the season at Royal Birkdale, a massive absence looms over the greens. For the first time since 1989, an entire year of major championships is wrapping up without a single appearance from Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson. If you were born after that year, you have never lived in a world where these two legends missed every major in a calendar year. Feeling like the end of an era is natural, but the truth is far more complicated than simple aging. Digging into why these icons are sitting at home while the rest of the field tees it up reveals that professional golf is in a strange, fractured place right now. Demanding absolute perfection, this tournament usually brings out the best in everyone. This year, however, the starting sheet is missing the men who built modern golf, marking a mass exodus of the game's biggest superstars. While the sport always beats you up physically and mentally, what is happening right now goes far beyond swing mechanics. We are looking at a full-blown crisis for some of the most famous athletes on the planet. Tiger Woods remains entirely absent from the game. Earlier this year, a serious rollover crash flipped his life upside down when he was arrested in Florida after colliding with a pickup truck. Charged with a DUI involving property damage, he compounded the situation by refusing to submit to a lawful test. Following the crash, the 15-time major champion essentially vanished. Stepping away from everything to seek treatment, he reportedly flew to Switzerland to get help quietly away from the cameras. Popping up only briefly since then, he was spotted back in the United States recently and showed up in Connecticut in June to help introduce the PGA Tour's new schedule. Yet, he still hasn't said a public word about the crash or the arrest. He just smiled, talked about the schedule, and left. Physically, his body has endured unimaginable trauma. In 2025, a ruptured Achilles forced him into yet another grueling back surgery, though he remarkably managed to play in the TGL indoor final back in March, just days before the crash. Having won the Claret Jug 3 times, including back-to-back victories in 2005 and 2006, his history across the pond is legendary. The last time he played this major was in 2024 at Royal Troon, where he missed the cut, and now he is missing the tournament entirely. Phil Mickelson has completely fallen off the radar as well. Playing in just one single live golf event this season, he put out a statement in April saying he was stepping away to deal with a personal family health matter. Shortly after, reports surfaced that he had left his home golf club in Southern California following allegations of non-consensual and inappropriate physical contact with a female employee before a round. Damage control immediately kicked in from his camp. Calling the whole thing a misunderstanding, they claimed it had all been cleared up, but the hit to his reputation was already done. Walking away from a home club over a simple misunderstanding just doesn't happen. Nobody has any clue when the 2013 Open champion is going to return to competitive golf. Finishing second twice in his career, his recent game was already falling apart. Other massive giants are missing from Royal Birkdale. Dustin Johnson, once the undisputed #1 player in the world, is now sitting at a shocking number 216 in the official world golf rankings. Joining Live Golf cost DJ dearly in the official stats, since those events have not been giving out world ranking points in the same way. Needing to qualify this year because his free pass expired, he found himself in a tough spot. Winning the Masters usually grants a 5-year exemption to the other majors, but his victory back in the November tournament of 2020 meant his 5 years finally ran out. Forced to go to a final qualifying event last month to earn his spot, he simply pulled out and quit. Things got even worse last month at the US Open when he was playing great on Friday, getting within a single shot of the lead. Suddenly, a complete meltdown erased all his hard work. In the span of just 5 holes, he went 8 over par, even writing down a quadruple bogey on his scorecard to go from fighting for the lead to nearly missing the cut in less than an hour. Now, he is sitting this week out entirely. Sometimes, the body just dictates the schedule. Zach Johnson is skipping this week for only the second time since he won at St. Andrews in 2015. Turning 50 earlier this year, he is actually playing incredibly well on the PGA Tour champions, winning back-to-back tournaments on the senior circuit. When reporters asked him about skipping Royal Birkdale, he honestly admitted that he cannot play 4 weeks in a row anymore. Finding a place where he can compete and dominate again, he will play in the Senior British Open later this month instead. Tony Finau completes the list of shocking absences, missing all 4 major championships this season. Failing to qualify for all 4 majors hasn't happened to him in well over a decade. Once a solid top 10 player, he has plummeted down to number 123 globally, managing only a single top 10 finish on the main tour this entire year. Having finished third at this tournament in 2019 and tying for third at the US Open in 2024, his recent track record across the pond has been brutal, missing 2 of his last 3 cuts and finishing tied for 56th last season. Pulling the biggest draws out of professional golf creates a massive power vacuum at the top of the sport. While incredible young players are stepping up, raw talent is simply not the same as global stardom. These absent veterans were icons who brought pure electricity and bitter rivalry to the course. Watching the broadcast this week, the starting field will undeniably look and feel very different. Breaking the 1989 streak proves that the sport is moving on without the men who built its modern audience. Whether anyone can return from these injuries, scandals, and slumps remains unseen. But the drama behind the scenes is thicker than the rough at Royal Birkdale. Make sure you hit the video on the screen right now to see the truth about what is happening with the new PGA and LIV golf merger.